Good evening, Retro Commanders, and welcome back to the 1980s when everything was possibilities and the world was young, the mountains green, no stain yet on the moon was seen, and stuff like that. It was a long time ago in this galaxy, however. So welcome one and welcome all to the retro video stream where we basically reminisce about how good things used to be. Back in the day. Who remembers? Yeah, we all remember it. That's the sad thing. Was life better then? I don't think it was, actually. I mean, there's a lot of that faux nostalgia about nowadays, isn't there? Was it better back in the 80s? It was different. I think some things were better back then. Some things definitely weren't. So there we go. So we're setting the Wayback Machine for about 1986, 1987, somewhere around there, aren't we? Yes, there we go. Commander Sea Dweller sends his regards. Excellent. Well, Commander Sea Dweller. Yes, good to hopefully see you soon again. The music and the telly were better. But anyway, before I start reading the chat, I should do the thing, because the thing is a thing, and the thing must be done. Cyber Darmy, congratulations for being first in the chat at 18 minutes past 7. It's good to see you. Wintermute GB, of course he is. He's in second place, which is about right. You don't want to be first. That's just being too keen. Good Doc 60 is in third place. Good to see you. Top Shot is here. It's always good to see you, Top Shot. Thank you very much for popping in. The Harkonnens are here, fresh and ready as ever to invade Arrakis and do their dastardly deeds. Which they'll presumably one day get on to do. Have a Boo Boo is here with his customary full thumbs up. Good to see you. Commander Terracoff is here. Terracoughing people. Myon Toxin is here. Myon Toxificating people, presumably. Eridan Dundragon is done dragoning for the day and is here with us this evening. It's always good to see you. Tyrakas is here. Excellent. Fighting off the invasion of the Harkonnens. Solstice Project, woohoo! Yay, we missed you the other week when we didn't have the to-dos, my friend, so it's good to have you back. P_SB is here. Good to see you. Commander Buffo is here as well. Enigma-ish remains Enigma-ish. Hasn't gone full Enigma. Hasn't recovered either. So that's good to see. Commander Rob Savatage is sabotaging everything. Not that this stream really needs a great deal of sabotaging, but... any glitches, therefore, that take place are Commander Rob's fault, I've decided. Randomly in the last 30 seconds. Frank Meyer, the 2949er is here as well. Good to see you. Sleepy D Wagon Man has woken up and is with us on the stream. Commander Tragic Blue 21 hopefully will be less tragic one of these days. Andy P783, which does rhyme, very important to point that out, is here with us as well. Good to see you. Matt Bucksoft is here as well, poised as ever. On Wikipedia, should we need him? We might need some Wikipedia tonight. We'll have to go and see how it goes. Gnorlavarg is suggesting we do Blue Danube on bagpipes. Now, I'm a big fan of bagpipes, as you know. However, I'm also a big fan of Johann Strauss Jr. and I feel it would be wrong to do that. I mean, there's certain lines that is not advisable to cross, and I feel that might be one of them. Simon Darby says batteries to power, turbines to speed. It's atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. I think you've got to do the whole quote if you're going to quote some Batman at me. 60s Batman, that is. Good to see you. Who else do we have in the chat? Commander Diana Rigg, good to see you. 07 Commander, hello. Commander Dave Timman is here as well. Excellent stuff. Solstice Project has the music muted. No, you missed out the whole point of your existence, my friend. Never mind, eh? Commander Sea Dweller says regards. Right, now I'm catching up with Chip. Aerodion is here. Good to see you. Thank you very much for dropping in as well. Good to see you. And Orkney Sean has arrived. Okay, folks, I'm here. Now the party can start. Orkney Sean has arrived with a metaphorical huge vat of whiskey. One could only assume. Ethnification is here as well. Good to see you. The Kazakh is here. Good to see you. Fantastic. Latty __ is here as well. Fantastic. So I think we're almost here. Oh, Lord Wargrind. 07 Drill recently discovered me. Excellent. I'm glad I've been discovered. Was I dug up in some sort of strange archaeological dig? That's been a terrifying moment. I really enjoyed your reclamation book. Thank you very much. Sorry, this is what masquerades as a sense of humour around here. So apologies if you haven't quite acclimatised yet. But Long War Grind, is lovely to have you on the stream. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you enjoyed the book. That's good. That's good. Good. Northern Sean says not tonight. I have a tour tomorrow. Okay, so actually, is that work or you're going somewhere fun to look at stuff? Did I wake up to find someone had stuck a flag in me? Yes, I've discovered the truth. Oh dear, this is going well. This is how the stream works. I do have great. In fact, what I have, I keep forgetting this quote. I have an exaggerated sense of self-importance or something like that. It's work. Ah, well, never mind, eh? There we go. Right. Anyway, we've got plenty to get on with this evening, so I'll keep the waffle short. There'll probably be waffles along the way, but we have got a lot of unwarranted. That's it. Unwarranted sense of self-importance. That's me. I think I might have that on my gravestone. True Wager lies here. He had an unwarranted sense of self-importance. Get on with it, says Winterbeach, quite rightly. Right, okay, let's do that exactly. Because there's quite a bit. Now, I made some progress. Oh, and what's that, says everyone. That's not it. That's the Amiga. What's going on? It is indeed the Amiga. Hang on a minute. Let me just adjust the screen. It's the Amiga. Now, the reason I've got the Amiga up is because I've been making some progress, yes. I got rid of the Acorn Archimedes and replaced it with the Amiga. No, that's not what I've done. I also have, for your delectation and delight, look at this. I have an Atari ST. and I've also got as you know, I've got the Acorn Archimedes as well. I have actually also got here. I mean, this will horrify you, but hang on, let me get this one too. Not that we're going to be using this, but I have got this. Let me just let me just sort it out if I can find it. There we go. Look at that, the glory of ancient operating systems that we have loved, or at least some of them we have loved. Now I've got Windows 3.1. Do I? Oh my god. Workbench and stuff. Yeah, bright green background. And why not, I say? Yes, that's right. So, my favourite operating system, Windows 3.1. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I'm doing a little contrast and compare before I get into the stream, because I think we need to put the Acorn Archimedes in context, okay? So let me just switch off some of this stuff here. I need to put, where have I put Windows? I'll put it over there. So let's get rid of that. Let's switch Windows off for the moment. Let's switch the Amiga off and let's switch the Atari ST. We're back. Okay, this is what we have playing, and we will get on with playing Elite on the Archimedes in a bit. There's a whole bunch of stuff about the Archimedes I've discovered in the last week. Okay, which I didn't know on last week's stream, hence my entire lack of success at getting anything to work. But I have done a bit of homework. You'll be pleased to see. And I've done a bit and I thought it would be fun just for maybe the first bit of the stream, just to play around and do a little bit of compare and contrast between the operating systems that were around, because they're all very different. Now, I never had an Amiga, and I never had an Atari ST, but my brother-in-law did have an Amiga. I picked his brains a little bit this week about how stuff worked. And I think a friend of mine had an Atari ST, but I don't remember it regularly. Now fun for whom? I had forgotten this actually, but I went back and through my memory as you do as you get older, and I thought I did partake in the 16-bit era because I had a PC. I'd completely forgotten about it, so I must have blotted this from my memory. I had a PC, but I had an 8086 PC, really basic. Now, it wasn't even the 286. I had an 8086 PC, 8 megahertz. I looked up, it was an Amstrad, it was a cheapy PC, Amstrad 2086, which I'd entirely forgotten about. But believe it or not, I found it in my diary. because I thought I'll just have a look. I did keep a diary at that time of my life, which was actually most amusing to read nowadays, of course. But yeah, no, I had an Amstrad 2086 PC, which did have only an 8086 chip, so it wasn't even as good as the 68000 in the Amiga and the Atari ST, and obviously a pale shadow of the Archimedes of the time. But it had two redeeming features. One, it had a 20 megabyte, kid you not, megabyte hard disk, and it also had VGA graphics. So we're fairly familiar with the Acorn Archimedes, right? Because we've been mucking around with that for the last couple of weeks. Bet True had an anorak and a flask as well. I did actually. So we're fairly familiar with this. I don't know exactly what resolution this is running, but of course the Archimedes, the Atari and the ST obviously did have the option of being plugged into monitors, but I'm pretty sure they also would plug into normal televisions. So in that sense, the resolution of their screens was relatively low. So I'm just going to switch over here to the ST for a moment, because this is the one I'm now least familiar with. But the Gem desktop, I do remember the Gem desktop, and it's very, it's very Mac, isn't it? It's very low resolution Mac, but it's very Mac of the time. So the ST did have a monochrome high res mode that only worked on one. So I don't know what sort of resolution we're dealing with here. This looks to be about 300 and something by 200 and something. So it's okay, but there's not a great deal I can do in this user interface. Oh, there's some preferences. Okay, so I can set screen resolution. Oh, there we go. Let's go for medium. Is that going to bust things? Oh, I've got a little B now. Drive A is not responding. I didn't ask you to look in drive. Oh, there we go. Is that high resolution? It's medium resolution. Basically, everything looks like it's been squashed. Okay. Well, there we go. So I don't think that's better. I suppose there's a bit more on the screen. Now, what I wanted to show you, okay, we're going to start with the Atari ST, because I think this is particularly interesting, and it's my stream, so I don't care otherwise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell this computer to load a floppy disk. And you won't be surprised to know that I've downloaded a game for the Atari ST. This is Elite for the Atari ST. Right, that I think means that we've now loaded the floppy disk into the emulator. And then if I double click on here, it's hopefully going to open. There we go. Look at this user interface. This user interface isn't bad. This is, dare I say it, quite a bit more intuitive than the one on the Archimedes. It does what I expect it to do when I click on buttons. So there's a bunch of files that are on the floppy disk, right? And yeah, and Gem was okay. So it's not resizing the window with full graphics, but it's yeah, because I think that was a lot of CPU power you'd need to do that. But it's all right, isn't it? So that yeah, Gem's quite good. And then TOS, yeah. Right, here we go. This is Elite on the Atari ST. Now we give it a moment. Ta-da, look at that! Look at that! I don't know who Mr. Micro was. I assume he's the guy who wrote Elite. Does look good though, doesn't it? It's even in colour. Yeah, so we got, I don't know how many colours the Atari ST, was it 16 colours on screen from a palette of 512 or something like that? It wasn't as many as the Amiga, I know that, but now according to the indicator here, it's still loading from the floppy drive, so I'm assuming Elite for this computer came on a single floppy disk. Right, now, okay, so this one does still have the copy protection, right? So I was like, I wonder if I can find a cracked version of the game. I could not find a cracked version of Elite for the Atari ST. And I thought, I won't try and cheat. What I'll do is I've got a copy of the manual, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually genuinely look through the manual here, and I don't think you'll be able to see this. That's okay. Right, page. What does that actually say? What number is that? Is that page 22? Right, okay. I've got the manual open in front of me in PDF format here. So page 22, there we go. Docking procedure, paragraph 1. Okay, line 2, word 1 is unless, according to that. So let's type that in. Oh, hang on. Unless. Oh, beep, 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 beep. Oh, yes. Here it goes. So this is Elite for the Atari ST. So it's kind of okay. What I thought was rather interesting about this. Let me just turn this volume down because it's pretty horrible, isn't it? Is that it isn't using solid colours for the vertices of the ships. It's using sort of dithering to make some extra colours. And it's also, you note here that the actual view screen is quite small, and I don't know if that's been done for performance reasons or whether that's been done for and the Thargoid is bright pink. I mean what? So I'm not quite sure. The colour choices seem a little bit suspect, I think. I like the extra details on here. I mean, is there a star chart there and a little? I don't know what that is. There's stuffs on the screen, which is interesting. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's see if we can just have a quick. Okay, so the music fades out. Right. So okay. Now, what's interesting? This doesn't bear any resemblance to the Archimedes version at all. It's not a port or conversion. This is literally the mouse is this nice little star. And then the UI is basically here. So if I try to get the inventory, well, I haven't got any. Okay. Status is what we're looking at the moment. So I've got obviously the classic pulse laser, 3 missiles and 100 credits. It starts exactly the same as any other version of Elite. The Galaxy is there. There's the local version there. There's Lave. So all the usual stuff works. We can buy. This is interesting though. Look, it's all graphics. So I don't know. Does it hover over anyway? So you've got to interpret what it's actually saying. So that's food, textiles, radioactive slaves. I'm guessing wine. Don't know. Drugs. And computers, machinery. I don't know what the others here are. Alien items there again. So there's that. There's information on the planet, so it gives you a little how far away it is, what the planet looks like, and the kind of little graphic of the kind of thing. So that's quite good. I just wanted to see whether or not the planet descriptions are as they're supposed to be or not. So let's go back. Click on Lave. What does it say? So this is interesting. Is the flavour text is different now. The planet Lave is now almost well known for its hoopy casinos. So even the randomised, procedurally generated flavour text isn't the same as it was, which is weird. So I just wanted to do a very quick. I'm not going to spend the whole time docking and everything, but I do want to do a single little trip just to compare these versions. So we've got some context for the Archimedes version, and then we'll talk about the Acorn Archimedes and what I've managed to do with it in a bit. So let's just do the thing. We'll buy. I don't know how to buy things. Oh, okay. I click on it and then I've got a keypad. That's quite nice. So what, 10? So it's all very GUI, which I suppose makes sense for a computer that really integrates a mouse well. So let's launch. What does that look like? Okay, so we've got some spaceships visible inside the space station. That's quite good. And the door opens. Oh, and then we slide out through the ship, and then green planet. Okay. Oh, of course it's mouse driven. I've got to keep forgetting that. Right, I'm going to ignore the mouse. Now the keyboard combinations are nice. This is the same. Performance is good. Let's just have a look at the space station. What does that look like? In fact, performance is arguably a bit too quick. Anyway, there's the space station. Right, I'm not going to go there. Let's. How do I? There we go. Let's just do a hyperspace jump to Leasty because we can. Special effects are quite minimal. Performance should be good given it's running on an i9. Yeah. Woo! That's quite swishy. That was quite a nice sound. Very sort of 16-bitty, wasn't it? Right, and then how do we get to the space in the general direction of the space station? Does the compass work? Oh, there we go. There's the planet. Right, so let's speed up and jump. Ooh, that's quite nice. Oh, condition red. Well, let's have a quick fight. What does this look like on the Atari ST? Well, there he is. Okay. Huge. I've got different coloured. Oh, it's firing little red dots at me. That's different. I don't know what ship that is. Is that a boa? It's much. The enemy ships are much slower than the ones on the Archimedes. I mean, I'm still useless at the keyboard, but it's probably optimised for mouse. But boom! Oh, that was quite nice. Whee! I think I've just pirated that. But anyway, well, I mean that gives you an idea, right, of the the Atari ST version. And press I for ident. Oh, it's got an ident computer built in. That's quite nice. Oh, there's another blib over there. It's not nearly as sophisticated as the Archimedes version. This is much more of a classic port of. Okay, that's just an asteroid. That's quite a useful thing to have, though. The explosions are nice. I like those. That sound effect's not bad. Does give a good sense of speed. Ooh, I can retire and give up that love of crime. I would say it's a heck of a lot easier, though. Really. Still mashed up. Okay, so there's a very small dot there. Is that going to be a bigger dot? Does it have a reverse camera? Yeah, there's a rear view, side and left views. Whatever that is, it's coming into range. It's a Cobra Mark. Oh, a Cobra Mark 1. Interesting. Well, let's kill that then, because. Okay, so it's firing little. That's interesting. They're not lasers. They're like little blobs of redness. Whereas we have got a laser. Oh, that's a missile, which I haven't got. Oh, I killed it. Nice. Anyway, there we go. It's a lot easier to play than the Archimedes version. No bounty because I just murdered the civilian, presumably. Anyway, right, let's close that down. Let's switch to the Amiga. Let's compare and contrast. Now this is Workbench. So this is I don't know which version of Workbench it's got. I mean, Amiga fans tell me a murderer. Yeah. Oh, it launched an escape capsule, did it? This is the Amiga UI. This is Workbench release 1.2, which I think, and it feels a bit less responsive here, but I think that's because it's emulating a floppy disk deliberately, and it's being a bit slow as a result. But again, this is super intuitive. I rather like this. I mean, the colour schemes on these things, bright green and bright blue, are a bit. I mean, it was the 80s, right? So what have we got in here? We've got system, So it's a very intuitive UI. The zzz is quite good. Okay, disk copy. Oh, there's a command line interface. Ooh. What does that look like in Amiga world? Is that what that means? It is, isn't it? Command line interface. Okay, oh, okay, I've got, what can I do in here? Directory? Can I do anything useful? Oh yeah, that works. So, can I do CD demo? Doesn't know what that means. Wrong operating system. Yeah, it does. Okay. So that's, I didn't even know these computers had command line interfaces. That's quite nice. Okay. So does it presumably I have to exit to get out of there? Unknown command exit quit. Okay, accepted it, but it didn't do anything. Does anybody know how to get out of the command line on the Amiga? Operating systems I know nothing about. By Drew Wager. I typed exit. It didn't understand exit. Oh, Control D. Oh, that didn't work either. Control Z. No. Control C. No. There's no closed window either, so I don't know. Unless you go back to this window and you unselect it or something. No. Don't know. Anyway, I can close that down. There we go. That takes us back to this window. Don't know how to get rid of this one. Close. That's a good idea. Nope. It's just like choose your own adventure. Give potion to Gandalf, the wizard. Help! Doesn't have any help. Excellent. Anyway, right. Okay. Let's just see if we can resize that and put that else somewhere else. What else does it have? Utilities. What utilities does it have? I tried Control C. I did type quit. NCLI. Oh, sorry. Did you put something useful in there? What's a funny command? To be honest, really, isn't it? NCLI. Ta-da! Oh, well done. Solstice Project knew somebody who actually knew how to control it. Okay, I've got a notepad. Is that the only thing I've got in there? I quite like that little ZZ. Means the computer's busy. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that just allows me to make some notes, I guess. That's fair enough. I've got a trash can, so this is again quite Mac-like, but not entirely Mac-like. Presumably the clock runs a clock. It does indeed. Look at that. And you've got a Windows system, and it animates where the stuff's going to go. It's quite nice. You know, it works. It's you know, the resolution again is low. You can see how much memory it's got free up there. So that's quite good. Demos. Anything exciting in there? Obviously, this is plain vanilla stuff. Dots, boxes, and lines. Let's try boxes, because who doesn't like some boxes? Oh, hello. It is indeed a box full of boxes being blitted, presumably very, very, very fast. That's going to give somebody an epileptic fit quite quickly. I think we'll switch that off. So that's the UI. I mean, it's of its time, but it's much more intuitive than the preferences. I always like a good preferences box. It's much more. That was pretty bad, wasn't it? What does the preferences allow us to do? Okay, so this is sort of fairly standard stuff. Mouse pointers and the CLI is on or off. Baud rate. Okay. Anyway, so that's good. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert a disk into the Amiga's drive as well, and you won't be surprised to know that it is now I don't know how to get access to the drives here. They don't seem to be. No, validating disk. Disk structure is corrupt. That's a bit weird. Did I give it the see what I'm going to do? I'm going to reboot the Amiga. Because it can't read the disk for some reason. Yeah, I think I had more success with this emulator by booting up with the disk already in place, which was a bit weird. Let's try that. Here we go. I don't know if that's a peculiarity of the emulator or something else, but anyway, there we go. So with a moment, hopefully the Amiga emulator will start emulating Elite as well. That's how games loaded, was it? Okay, so I presumed with, because the Atari, it seemed to me like the Atari had Gem built into its ROM, but Workbench wasn't in ROM on the Amiga. You had to load it from a floppy disk and then swap the disks out. Does that make sense? So I got the, I don't know, I mean, you guys tell me, because I've never used either of these computers, but the Atari Gem desktop seemed to load automatically in the emulator, whereas Workbench didn't. I needed to find a disk image of Workbench before I could do anything useful. So Gem was in ROM. Okay, well that actually made the Atari perhaps a little bit more useful. This one has been correct. Now what you'll notice is here is now the Amiga version has loaded. Looks surprisingly similar to the Atari ST version, right? And when I say surprisingly similar, what I actually mean is utterly identical. So I'll type Sarah, why not? Oh look! Now this does look familiar. I can only assume that this version of the game was programmed by the same guys. In fact, it is the same version of the game. And given that these two machines are both running on 68,000, that doesn't really surprise me. So the code is virtually identical, at least on first impressions. But, agree totally, the music is way better. But we know why, because the Amiga obviously has far better sound capabilities than the Atari ST, at least built in. And the performance looks very, very similar, right? The graphics look identical, very, very similar environment here. So let's try exactly the same thing that we tried before. Well, and it is identical. I see no differences here at all. Even the mouse pointer is the same. So does it pop up the same? Oh, it doesn't pop up the same. That might be because I don't know how to use the emulator. Oh, it's double click. There we go. So yeah, I mean it's the same, right? It is identical. Let's see if it's identical in gameplay. Okay, we're going to launch. Do exactly the same thing. Okay, that looks identical as well. We've got some sound effects now as we launch, though. Again, it's difficult to verify performance because the emulators might not be running at the correct speed. So I think that's we can't be. We've got to be a bit careful about checking performance, but that felt a little bit more sluggish, but that might just be down to the emulator. The UI is exactly the same, isn't it? I mean, there is no difference. It is identical, pretty much down to even the colours and the graphics. There's the space station. So these are ports. I don't know. Does anybody know which one came first, the Atari ST or the Amiga, or did they come out exactly at the same time? First time chat, Johnny Macaroni. Hello, good to see you. I remember when my PC couldn't play this. Good time. Oh, well, we'll get to that. Okay, so Mensky says the ST 68000 was clocked slightly higher and the custom chips couldn't do anything to boost 3D games. So the ST would have had a slightly higher frame rate, but it was often barely noticeable. Okay, well, there's a big bow has just jumped out. Right, let's just hyperspace then. Off we go. So we've got a beep for hyperspace countdown. Wasn't much. Oh, the ST came out first. Okay. Same visual effect. Similar sound effect, actually. In fact, the Atari ST sound effect there, I think, was better than that. A bit more spacey. Anyway, let's go murder some poor, unfortunate people. Velocity locked. Or do I have to speed up before I can? Yes, that's the same. Okay, I need some ships to turn up. Right, there's something has turned up somewhere. Let's see if that looks exactly the same. saying... Oh, there's the ship. Right, what does it look like? Yeah, this version definitely feels a bit slow, but that might... Okay, that looks exactly the same. Does it have an ident computer? Yes, it does. It's a Cobra Mark III. Oh, okay, well, this might be interesting. Let's blast it, because... Oh. Well. Because that's what we're going to do, obviously, because we're the bad guys today, for demo purposes. Oh, it's actually quite hard. I should really learn to fly these games with the mouse. I haven't hit it yet. It's running quite fast, actually. Alright, there we go, I got it. Now it's telling about. Is it going to launch red blobs at me? Yes. Okay, so that's interesting. They all launch these red blobs. Not lasers. They don't fire lasers. They like plasma thingamajigs. Let's fire the missile. Off goes my missile. Well, it sort of turned and then shot off. Oh, it ECM'd it. Okay, so very similar explosions. I like the red flashing engines. That does look it. But much slower ship animation than the Archimedes version. But I like the way the AI turns about and then starts hunting me down. Can I kill a Cobra Mark III and a Cobra Mark III with just a pulse laser? We'll find out. But yeah, it's not nearly as brutal as the Archimedes version is it? Boom! Killed it. Exactly the same explosion. There you go. So I can steer the mouse. I've got no idea what I'm doing. Oh, that was a pirate. I got 5 credits for it. Amiga then, virtually basically a port of the ST. 68,000 chips makes sense. And better sound, probably slightly lower frame rate. I would. But yeah, the attacking weapons are a bit weird in the sense they launch little blobs at you. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the player's laser is a drawn on screen effect, not part of the 3D world. Okay, so Drew, I have no idea what I'm actually doing. I'm just exploring these things in a historical context, which I think is what you actually mean. Anyway, that's enough of that. Now let's move over to the PC, because this was interesting. Because back then, this is what your PC looked like, and we had the advantage. The PC is much higher resolution, because the PC I had at this era in time was VGA. So this is 640 by 480 resolution, which makes a real difference to readability on the screen. So this, for those of you who don't know this is Windows 3.1. So this is about 4 or 5 years before Windows 95 came out. In fact, it's more than that. It's when did Windows? Does it tell us? Maybe it tells us about. There we go. So 1995 to 1992. This product is licensed to Drew Wager of an unknown organisation. So there we go. Now I am running this in 386 enhanced mode, because I can't tell it to specifically be an 8086. But this version 3.1 did run on my old 8086 PC at 8 MHz, and it was okay. I mean, I wrote my dissertation on this computer using, and I kid you not, I used this program here. So in the accessories here is Write. And this was the word processor I used at university. Okay, so this is a piece of text written by Drew. So I mean, we know the Mac was the desktop publishing of choice, but this, you could do this in I think it's characters. I can go bold, and then I can enlarge font. There you go. Look, so I mean, we've got WYSIWYG stuff going on here, which is actually not too shabby for the era. It was actually a reasonably productive environment, I thought. Obviously, if you the UI is it's okay. It's very familiar, right? It works exactly as you expect it to. And there were lots of quite neat little applications. So, for example, you've got sound recorder, media player there. I mean, the codecs for these are tiny. Card file always quite like this. This is, you know, you could put all your address contacts in there long before you had any reason to do anything. Yeah, the classic games. I mean, who doesn't want to play a game of solitaire and Minesweeper, right? Who remembers Minesweeper? That's a brilliant game. Yeah, no start button or anything like that. But you know, the UI paradigm is very similar. So you grab the corners of the screen and you do that, and you know, you've got Windows File Manager. I mean, it looks awful, but it does sort of work the way you expect it to because you're used to Windows, right? Does the emulator blue screen for no reason? I think it probably can do. I think I've managed to bust it on occasion by doing just normal stuff. So yeah, it's totally effective. Now, Elite for the PC did not run in Windows at this stage of the game. So in order to get it running, you had to go back into DOS mode. So I'm not going to try that on here, but I think it will pop back into DOS. Yes, it will. There we go. And then you can go back into there's DOS, and then you can run Windows again by going back into there, and it comes back. It's not emulating it at fair speed. It's to be said. I'm running that in VirtualBox, but so the Windows UI was developing at this stage. So let us. I'm going to shut this down. I've got to remember how to get out of right control. There we go. Out of my environment. Now I have got DOSBox running here as well, in which I know that I do have Elite. So let me just add this in, because I think I've got to add it in as a source. This is a bit problematic. Windows Capture, here we go. DOSBox. With a bit of luck it will capture this. Okay, there we go. It's a bit big. Let me get that down to a decent size. So this is DOSBox. Many of you will be familiar with DOSBox. Let me put that underneath the chat and underneath me, if that's all right, computer. Really? There we go. And in here we have Elite Plus, which is the version of Elite that, if you like, the last version of Elite for the PC. And so let's start this up. Right, it's asking us, do we have an AdLib compatible sample or a Roland LAPC? Let's go for AdLib, because then we'll get some sound effects as well. And I've got a choice here: EGA, VGA, or MCGA. I don't know. T56 colour get MCGA. That's a new one on me. Let's try VGA. Oh, type in the word. Oh, it shrunk the screen. I'm going to just type in any old random thing for the time being. There we go. Look at that. Ooh, we have stuff happening. Well, MCGA is okay. You reckon MCGA is what I should have gone for? Well, it's a bit late now. Yeah, that looks, actually that does look pretty horrendous. Let's see if we can go for MCGA. Okay, so I got high resolution there, but I didn't get. How do I get out of it? Oh, hang on, it's asking me to press buttons. Okay, so this does look vaguely. How do I get out of the game? F6, 12. Oh, there we go. Exit of 12. Yes. Let's restart that. And go for, okay, we'll go for AdLib and we'll go for MCGA. Okay, I don't know if that's copy protected. Hopefully it's, oh, there we go. Look, we've got some decent colour scheme. Okay, we've got the Blue Danube. That's enough of that. Okay, is it going to give us a welcome screen? Oh, it is. There we go. Okay, so we've got a similar sort of, but no dithering going on here now. The PC's got enough colours now at this stage in its evolution, and this is a Chris Sawyer version, so it's a different kind of vintage of. Now Chris Sawyer, he wrote some other stuff, didn't he? So I think he was authorised by David Braben and Ian Bell to generate this version for the PC. So anyway, it's playing a funny version. Right, so okay, so here's the PC interface, Commander Jameson, as we would expect. So we have, oh, it doesn't seem to respond to the mouse. So this is more classic. So let's buy some stuff. I don't know how to buy anything. Oh, there we are, buy. Okay, that's interesting. There's no food available here. Buy. Okay, you just use the PC's hotkeys to do stuff. Right, okay, that'll do. Let's go out. What does it do on launch? Okay, well that that definitely wasn't as impressive. Ooh, it's moving really fast and it doesn't respond to the standard keys. Okay, so it's using the cursor keys. And now therefore I need to, right, there's the space is the laser. That's quite a nice effect. It's quite pew pew, isn't it? Using the old ad lib at this point. Oh, there's the speed down. Okay, so it's the square bracket, the angle bracket keys. Okay, so that's good. Let's, what does F5 do? That's the rear view. Okay, that changes all the views. F7 is missile primed. Okay, and then presumably F4 is, there we go. Right, how does that work? Okay, we go to release D, press D. How do I select the target? For you? No. 6. Hyperspace system not selected yet. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. How do I select the hyperspace? Is it 10? No. Oh, H? 6? Nope. Oh, that's how you actually do hyperspace. Okay. My emulator is running too fast. It is, isn't it? There's a bit of, there, I can slow it down. There we go. Let's slow the emulator down a bit. Oops, somebody's firing at me already. Why is somebody firing at me here when I'm near the, oh, not near the space. Oh, have I jumped? Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Anyway, well, somebody's, oh, I've got to, what's the cursor keys? This is going to make it quite awkward. I've got a mouse in the way as well. I can't see. Oh, there's a ship. Something else is firing me. Let's just try shooting this one down because. Oops. Around that one. Oh, we've got lasers. That's an improvement over the other two versions. Let's slow down the ship because I'm running at full speed. Let's slow it down. There we go. Still not as brutal, I would say, because I'm still alive. I like the sound effects though. Oh, there's a third lance. A worm hunter. Oh, that one's firing. Oh, that's a third lance. Okay, so it's really hard flying this with just the cursor keys. It's like almost impossible. But, I mean, yeah, okay, who's coming in on the attack run again? Ow, somebody's shooting the Jesus at me. I don't think that's the one that's attacking me. Or maybe it is. Yeah, here he comes again. It's got quite nice sound effects, I'll give it that. It's insanely difficult, isn't it? Let's just try missile then. How do I lock a missile on target missile? Let's fire the missile. I don't know how to fire it. Oh, it's all mouse, it's all function keys. I just want to kill something, so all the explosions are like, that's basically, oh, I fired one over there. That worm. Is it going to hit? Oh, I got it! Splat! I think I just murdered an innocent civilian, but hey, why not? Okay, let's target another missile. That looks like a crate there, so let's try and catch that. really is flapping them out as well. If I can't do this soon, we'll soon drop out. Oh, there it goes. This is insanely... There we go. I got a missile lock on him. Right, let's missile him. No, I need to be pointing at him. Have a decent chance. There he is. Right, there we go. Missile launched. Boom. And he sort of disintegrates into little bits. Anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah, the pew pew effects are nice. So it's got half decent sound effects for the time. Oh, Alexian Qubit is raiding. Sorry, I missed that. Hello. Alexian Qubit, hello Drew, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you very much for the raid. Very much appreciated. Yeah, it's maddeningly hard. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, just to give you the context of what the PC version was like at the time. So hopefully that's there you go. There's been some retroness going on in the game. Now let's get on with what we're supposed to be talking about. Archimedes emulator. Right, now here, this is all interesting stuff. Okay. Now, in order to get, because last week when you left me, I was struggling to get any cheats working, and I figured out what I was doing wrong. We were doing everything right other than the last stage. Okay, so we downloaded the right files, we'd unzipped them on the PC, and we had copied over the extracted files into the operating system hostfs of the Archimedes and tried to run them, and it didn't work. The reason it didn't work is because we made a fatal mistake. Well, I made a fatal mistake. The fatal mistake we made was that unzipping them on the PC screws up the resulting files. You have to not unzip them on the Acorn Archimedes. Otherwise it doesn't write. There's something weird about the checksums or something along the lines that basically you have to use a native de-archiving tool on the Archimedes to pull the files out. So after a bit of research, the native tool to remove things on the Archimedes is a tool called Sparkplug. So what I'm now doing is I'm installing Sparkplug. Okay, it does. I don't know what this is doing. It's running a basic file. Now that's the other thing that I discovered about this is when I first tried to run this, it didn't work. But what you have to do on the Archimedes, which I can't show you at the moment because it's obviously busy doing this. I'll show it to you in a minute. Is if you download a file onto the Archimedes, unless you tell it what type of file it is, it doesn't, like in Windows, it doesn't read the extension of the file and go, aha, that's an executable, or aha, that's a text file, or aha, that's an executable script like a batch file. It doesn't, by default, it doesn't do it. Okay, so I downloaded, we had everything we needed on the PC already, right? There was a mention of Sparkplug in last week's stream, yeah, so I didn't understand what they were talking about until I started doing some reading about it. So there were two things that we got wrong. One of which we were trying to execute a text program because we hadn't told the Archimedes that it was actually a series of instructions. Basically, all it did is it opened the file in a word processor, which kind of does make sense, right? I'm just going to open the window here because it's so exciting that I'm overheating. Right, so that's actually done that. So you see this file now is this one here is text, right? If I just make that a bit bigger, there we go. This is a text file. You can tell it's a text file on the Archimedes because it's got white background and black text. And if I double click on it, it's literally just a piece of text, right? Okay. But this file here is a basic file. Now I've now told the Archimedes that is in fact a basic file, so it knows what to do with it. But what you have to do is you have to middle click it. You have to go down to options. No, not options. You have to go down to file here, go across and then tell it what type it is. And I've told it it's a basic file, right? It's contains some instructions that it has to run rather than just read, if that makes sense. First time chat from Sam Singer with lots of numbers. Good to see you. I think is that Russian? So anyway, hello. So you have to tell it it's a basic file. That's what I've done. Now I've been able to run Sparkplug, and it's installed Sparkplug, right? So there's Sparkplug there, which is cool. Now Sparkplug is Sparkplug is now currently busted. Why is that not running? System resources cannot be found. That was this is a proper Blue Peter demo, right? Because it was working. App Sparkplug. Is it? It knows it's an application. Anyway, I did this. Here's one I did earlier. So basically, if you put the archive into basically Sparkplug is kind of like zip or pkzip or something like that, right? What I was able to do with Sparkplug is I was able to properly extract the editor files. Okay, so we've now got Elite Cheat, Elite Edit, and Elite Extension. Okay, so which is a sort of hack for Elite. Because it now knows that these archive files are actually archives, and it knows what to do with them. Okay, so it wasn't really the computer's fault, it was just us, or me, being completely unaware of how this thing's supposed to work. So we can now run Elite Edit. Okay, there it is. It's actually running. Okay, and we can now open up our floppy disk drive. If I just insert the floppy disk with Elite on it and our saves on it, into floppy disk 1, or floppy disk 0 rather. There we go. In fact, let me just adjust where's my screen gone a little bit wacky? There we go. Let's get that into the right place. There we go. Right. So now what we do is with Elite Edit, it doesn't have an interface in the same. It's like this. What you have to do, this was very non-intuitive to me, but what you have to do is you have to take your Commander save file and you have to pick it up and you have to drop it onto the editor. All right. Now it's in there. Now, oh, press the wrong button. Now I can pop. If I click on that, I've got my save edit. Okay. So now it tells me, here's my save file. So it's telling us we've got, I've already edited this by the way, 3,000 cache. I've only got 5 kills so start. Legal status of 0. Trade seeds, don't know what that is. Mystery word, don't know what that is. Present system 55. These are codes for the game. Still think farming credits might be easy, but I've got some credits now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself 5,000 credits. So it's not excessive amounts because I don't want to cheese the game too much, right? So let's tell that now. What I can do now is there are other windows I can play with. So we could, for example, I did have one missile just to make it. So here's the things that we can buy, right? So I can add in the large cargo bay and the fuel scoops and everything else. I'm not going to do that yet because I want to play the game bit by bit. I'm going to leave the pulse lasers on the front. But at least now we've got the option, if we do get into trouble, we can add ourselves in. I can add different items into the hold there. Interesting enough here, it looks like I can trigger the missions. So according to this, there are 4 missions built into the Acorn Archimedes Elite now. So if we can't trigger them directly, we should be able to trigger them in order to play the missions through, which I think is quite a nice thing. So there's a mission, I presume that's 0 and then 1 we activate it or something like that. So I'll do a bit more homework on that. But at least now we can give ourselves, if I save this file, I can save my commander name, which is quite nice. So that is quite good. So when we start up Squirrel now, we'll be able to do that. So that's basically, the Archimedes works in a slightly weird way, but it does work. So that's just a light cheese, like sort of Edam, yeah. Now the other thing I discovered is that then these other things pop up. Now Elite Cheat seems to be, this one didn't work, so I was a bit disappointed by that. I don't know what, it's missing something, some sort of runtime library or something. But Elite Extension does work. Now this is quite cool. Now you'll notice here it's got Elite thing with like a dice associated with it, right? Yeah, the reasons for that will become clear. I do need docking computers. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Shall we add docking computers, because that's going to save us a bit of time, isn't it? Let's do that, because yeah, I tend to agree, because we've had enough pain. Let's have the docking computers, but that's it. Okay, there we go. That's like half my deaths. Yeah, no, I do actually want to play the game. So we'll add the docking computer in. Let's save that. There we go. There we go. Right. So now Elite Extension is basically some add-ons, not to the mission save, but an add-on to the games. Right. So I fire this up, and it basically just says, "Now please run Elite." It's interesting that it also has Elite with a little. Is that a circumflex? I can't remember what these things. Yeah, it's got Elite with, I don't know, a little character. Anyway, so it's now prompted me to run Elite, and I'm going to run. Oh, let's close that down, because I don't think we'll have enough memory otherwise. And let's run Squirrel. Acute. That's right. It's an acute thingamajig. Yeah. Yes, this. This does add some decoration. There we go. It's found Elite version 1.14, and it has extended it. Squirrel is loaded. Here we go. All right, so you get some fluffy dice. That isn't the only thing that it gives you. I hesitate to add, but it does give you some fluffy dice, which I think is an excellent addition to the cockpit of any self-respecting Cobra Mark III, right? Commander Archangel has looked up some missions for us. Okay, so we'll have to do. We need to do a lot of kills then. Why 1,550 kills? That's a lot. Acute edition. Right. So we've also got a little indicator showing there's 0 tons of cargo in the hold, and actually. The actual real time on the left hand side of the screen, so you know how late you're staying into the evening when your parents have told you you're supposed to be asleep. But look at that, we now have front pulse laser and a docking computer and 5,000 credits. How about that? But the rest of the game is the same, so we can continue playing properly. So I am going to let's go a little bit crazy here. I'm going to buy a beam laser for the front of the ship. Because I want one. How do I do that? Oh, I've got to choose. I want it on the front, I think. There we go. It's added it onto the front. I'm going to buy the energy unit, because that will keep us alive. There we go. Oh, and look, it puts it up there, so we can see docking computer, energy unit, and things. Right, fuel scoops. We might as well have a fuel scoop. A fuel scoop. There we go. Oh, look, it actually updates the graphic. That's quite nice. Fuel, we don't need. Missiles we've got. Large cargo bay. I suppose that might be a worthwhile addition at this stage. Let's have that. Now we've used up most of the cash we've already bought. Let's buy. Right, where are we? We're still doing milk run, so we've still got computers. This is leasty, so let's fill up our. Oh, I've just done it the wrong way. Let's fill up our cargo hold. We still haven't quite got enough cash. Even with that lot, we still haven't got enough cash to fill the cargo hold yet. But anyway, we've now got a decent trade run, so let's have a half decent ship. So let's have a look at the status now. So there we go. We are still clean and harmless, but now we've got a beam laser, a large cargo bay, fuel scoops, and energy unit. So we're sort of at a early to mid stage. We're better. We've got a chance of surviving the space lanes now. So let's go back to local. We're going to go back to DSO, and we're doing the fur computers run at the moment. But yeah, fluffy dice. Look, so we know how much stuff we've got in our cargo hold. We know the moon kills us. Now here's the other thing, right? Okay, when you go up and down, nothing happens, right? Oh, okay. But when you roll left and right, watch those dice, my friends. Watch those dice. It's so cheesy, but it's great. It's just a joy. I love programs with a sense of humour. Now the other thing that we've got as part of this is an upgrade to the technology on the computer, because look what happens when we point at things. It's got a built-in ident computer, so we now know what we're pointing at. How does that work in Zero G? Well, in Mad Monk's Shop, now this is an interesting lore point. Okay, it's because 20% of the CPU power over there, and you don't have to spend arcs to get the dice. That was a free download. Yes, weird. What happened? I see they're in the lore. Okay, they're in the Acorn Archimedes version, so they should exist. It comes with the ident computer, which is quite nice. But so in the lore, the Cobra Mark III in Elite has anti-gravity plating. So for some strange reason, in Elite Dangerous, the technology for grav plating has been lost. Nobody knows why. It got Brabenificated out of existence. So we've got an ident computer. We've got some fluffy dice. First time chat from Plutonia. Edie doesn't have the dodo shaped spaceports. Oh, that is very, very true. They found out it's bad for you. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, let's go back. And you notice also the other thing that's changed. I don't know if you spotted that. The reticle for the guns isn't the same. So it gives you a different reticle depending on which laser weapon you've got. And if we fire it now, we've got yellow lasers instead of red ones. Presumably he says they're slightly hotter. But the laser temperature goes up a bit faster. So anyway, beam lasers are going to be a little bit more effective. Those dice are not. I wonder if you can switch them off, because actually they're really quite irritating. But hey, oh, that doesn't look good. Or is it? Oh look, what's going? Oh no, they're having a fight. This is what I love about this version of Elite. Okay, it spawns some ships in, and then they're ignoring me. They're having a fight with somebody else. Right, there's some Cobras in there, so I could just leave them alone to have their fight. And that's their problem, you know. I'm not getting involved. So bye, guys. Sorry. So you know, none of the other versions of Elite do that. So that is unique to this version. As far as I'm aware, this moon thing is also unique. I don't really like it because it's too fast. I think if they slowed it down by a factor of 10, it would be really rather good, because it just looks a bit silly. It's a bit like Meteor and Hollow in Elite Dangerous. This looks silly as well, but this is everywhere. So I like it, but I don't like it, if that makes sense. Right, it's best looked again. Oh yeah, and this is the other thing. This is the other thing, yeah. Okay, as you put on the rear view, there is a sticker in the window. My other ship is a Thargoid. It's just class. So Elite Extension, look at this. You see, this is what you like. You've got, look, a massive boa, or whatever it is. Actually, it'll tell us, won't it? If we get into range, we can identify the ships now. There's an anaconda. There you go, look. So there's an anaconda flying in formation with 5 sidewinders, because that's how you do it, right? So where we get good. Is there any other accessories on any of the other windows? No, just in the rear view window. Which is of course exactly the right place to put your sticker. So I'm very happy about this. This is, so there's the cops doing their thing. Yeah, nice sound effects. Well, there aren't much on there. One thing the Archimedes version doesn't have really very much of is sound. It's quite similar in feel, I suppose, to the original Elite on the BBC. Needs a traffic light air freshener. It's very of its time, isn't it? So I don't think Elite Extension that we're playing now is an official thing for the game. Somehow. It's sort of tongue-in-cheek. Now we should be able to press... There we are, docking computers are on. Oh, it's not Instadock. Okay. Let's see how good it is at docking. On the Spectrum version, you just dock. It doesn't, presumably the programmers went, nah, not writing all the code to navigate the ship in manually, just Instadock. And I don't know about the other versions. Does anybody know on the BBC and the Commodore 64, did they animate the docking approach on any of those versions? Because obviously there's a bit more CPU power and space on these 16/32-bit computers to do this sort of stuff. Because this is obviously lining up the docking, and it's actually going to do it for us. My Spectrum version definitely didn't do it. But I'm interested to know, did the BBC B? Okay, so the Commodore 64 version didn't. The BBC Disc version did. Okay, and the cassette version. So that's interesting. They obviously cut it out for space, because it must be a relatively complicated piece of maths to do this. Because you've got to work out I presume a bunch of vectors. You can see it's actually controlling the ship, though. Look, because it's waggling the dice. I hope it takes into account there's a ship ahead of us. I was going to ram that Mori out of existence, and that's going to be my... Oh no, there we go. Now there's a number there in brackets. How well is it going to dock? Boom, job done. Okay, so that worked all right. It worked. Okay, so what about the Atari ST and the Commodore Amiga versions? Did they auto dock, or did they do a sequence as well? So let's sell those back. We should have made a fair chunk of money by doing that. Yeah, so we're now into the realms of actually making some cash, which is good. Let's buy furs. Fill up the cargo hold with furs. We should be able to get the entire cargo hold full. We need some fuel to go back. We don't need anything else because everything's okay. Okay, so you had the option of turning the sequence on and off on the Amiga. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. Right, so let's go back to the ST. We're going to make a trade run till we get a really, really decent ship. Okay, so the idea of this stream now is to earn some cash, so we can burn. So however much cash that you get at the end of the stream, we'll spend it on cool upgrades for the ship. Because LST at least is quite a high-tech system, so we can spend our cash on things. So I'd like to get a military laser and a few other kind of goodies as well. Maybe a mining laser on the back and stuff like that. I've never really used the left and right views for anything, so I don't know if anybody else ever did, but I never did. Or did I put like another military laser on the back and maybe a mining laser on the side or something? I can't remember. Yeah, okay, so that was interesting because the space station had 25,000 in brackets next to it. There's another ship out there, which is, now that we can identify, this is quite a nice addition. Although it's out of range at the moment. Looks like it's flying away from me anyway, so I'm not going to bother with it. It's hit points, is it? Yeah, okay, so it tells me how many is that, and will it degrade as the ship gets damaged? So theoretically, at least, you could kill a Coriolis space station, assuming it debits it. We should probably try. I haven't saved my game for a little while. I'm getting a bit cocky, aren't I? So I better do that in a moment when we get to the next space station. Let me just turn the music volume back up again because we had tweaked it down, haven't we? Audio, is that the one? There we go. Mass locked still, apparently. So the game is... It's not giving us any pirates now. I want to try my beam laser out on somebody. There's the other ship. There it goes, disappeared. Is this a pirate? Ooh, it's a big ship. Oh, let's just point at it. No, it's flying away from me. It is, if I can get it in the crosshairs, a special moccasin 9, so it's only got 9 hit points. Presumably, it's almost like the pirates now know better semester, yeah. Or maybe we should go back to, well, maybe go back to Lave. We might see a bit more action in the Lave system. We'll get to the space station, save the game again. What's interesting about Elite at this stage is it takes a long, long time to get your first few thousand credits. And then the moment you can fill your cargo hold with some stuff, the game unlocks. It's just like you just got to go through that initial pay, which of course I've bypassed a little bit now by cheating. There we are, we're back into system space, so I just hit the computer button. Docking computer is on. There's no docking music. It doesn't play the Blue Danube. In fact, I don't think it played the Blue Danube when we started up either. It does take a while to grind the first stage, exactly, yeah. It's like in real life, the first million is the hardest. As Minsky says, as I said last stream, you need that startup from the Bank of Poke. Yeah, once you can fill a cargo hold and you have credits left over for equipment, it speeds up considerably. It does. So hopefully we'll get a decent price for all our furs here. It should be. Let's see if the this station has the same hit points as the Coriolis one. Watch out for the other ship, dude. Oh, there's Bushmaster with 9 hit points as well. There's the space station. Yeah, no, Dodo space station has 25,000 as well. Okay, 25,000 is a lot. I mean, you have to make a fairly concerted attack. Presumably, though, if you just sat there and shot it for a long time and weren't being killed by the police, you could destroy the space station. Fuel scoops also help a lot. We should get some fuel scoops next, I think. Let's buy some fuel scoops since we're here. That doesn't look quite straight to me, Mr. Docking Computer. Oh, can the docking computer screw up? Question. Hope not. Up a bit. Nope, they got away with it. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's sell. Yeah, see how fast we almost remake our money back. Let's buy the fuel scoops. Oh, I think I've already got them. Status. Yeah, I've already got them. Okay, so let's trade. Let's buy computers here. Hopefully we can get a cargo hold. Oh, I still need 30. Right, but let's save the game. Nice floppy disk drive sounds very reassuring. And let's go back to Lave, because Lave is a bit. Oh, we haven't quite got enough fuel. Not that it matters, but get the fuel next time around. We haven't quite been able to flow our cargo hold with computers yet, which is obviously a high value item, so we're not quite there yet. Well, those were the days. Watching other people play, these are the days. Yeah. Alex on the Qubit says, I never played Elite, but my friend did while we watched him when we were like 10, I think. Alas, I was a bit older than that. I played Elite on my Spectrum in 1985, I think it must have come out. Was it 84 or 85 the Spectrum version came out? So I would have been 14. Child of the 70s, me. And I'm by no means the oldest person on this Twitch stream, I know that. There are a few venerable gentlemen of greater age even than me. It's like the pirates are avoiding me now. Oh. Nope, they're not. Okay, right, here we go. Right, we have now got an energy unit that should help replenish our shields. But I think we've been jumped by 4 pirates. Are those police? I don't want to shoot. They look like police. I don't want to shoot them. Which is, see, that doesn't help me identify. Why are the police after me? Or have they killed the bad guy, and I'm free to go. No, they're attacking me. Somebody's attacking me. Who is attacking me? That ship is. No, that's the police. Why is the police attacking me? Can I outrun the police? That's bad news. Why would the police be attacking me? Yeah, they're after me. Oh no! God. Why are the police attacking me? I'm a fugitive. Why am I a fugitive? What did I do? Okay, what happened there? Oh, I'm nicked. Andy P says there are old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there's not many old bold pilots. Now that, my friends, is an excellent quote from The Black Hole by Disney from 1970 something. Oh, a fur's illegal. Ah, oops. Right, so I'm now carrying I hadn't realised that furs were illegal. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, well, therefore we're now. I can't do much about. Well, I could go and edit it out, but I won't. Let's see if we can. Okay. So in that case, we're now furs are illegal, right? Okay, so we actually do contraband smuggling. Hey, that's cool. I'm all right with that. Let's go back to Dizo then. So we're going to have to kill the police. For anybody watching this stream, yes, I did actually say that. It's in the context of retro gaming, okay? What? Okay. The game just murdered me for no obvious reason. Okay, I know I'm fugitive, but what did it do there? It says your nicks are dead. Bang. Let's. Oh, I've got to. We're going there. Let's get the heck out of here. So the Elite universe is very harsh. The penalty for just about everything is insta-death. So presumably if the police encounter me out here in space, they'll just attempt to murder me. Whereas, like that. Right, we're going to have to do some murdering of the police, I'm afraid. I suspect. Because they aren't going to... Yep, they aren't going to let us go because we're fugitives. Okay, well, let's see how well this works. It's so much faster than the other versions of the game. It's insane. Vipers have 7 hit points, and they still have 7 hit points. Oh, 5 hit points, 3 hit points. That's quite reassuring, actually. Boom! One splash, one cop. Obviously, I don't condone violence. Especially not against police officers in spaceships, but hey. Do what I say, don't do as I do. I think basically the beam laser is giving me 2 hits for the price of 1. Is basically that's the upgrade. Interesting, the AIs here is different. When they're not in your crosshairs, oh, boom, there we go, we got them both. So we've killed all the police. So I suspect not only will I be fugitive for a while, I might be mostly harmless. Orkney Shawn says, okay, as I have to appear awake and have fountain of this correct historical information at 9:30 in the morning, I better go and get some sleep. Take care, my friend, be good. Will the automatic docking computer still work if I'm a fugitive? Is a good question. Here we go. Yes, apparently so. Okay, so I'm allowed to dock. despite the fact I'm a fugitive. Yeah, you're quite right there, Commander Buffer. The moon did go behind the planet there. That was quite nice. In the space station zone, it seems to be like the laws don't necessarily apply. If you start murdering people in the safe zone around the space station, then yes, they'll come and attack you. But if you come into the safe zone as a fugitive but don't attack anything, then all seems good. So there's some weird jurisdiction that goes on in the Elite universe, whereas you can be a bad guy, but you're kind of permitted still to trade because we want your stuff. So stations are no fire zones. Yeah, so that's right. So if you can come into a station zone as a criminal and leave as a criminal, but they'll only fire on you if you fire on them. Whereas out in space, beyond space station space, the laws are different. Plutonia, did David Braben patent this 3D radar that it uses? I don't know did they patent it? I mean, I know it's a late addition to the game. Once they patented it, because it's a few other games have used it since. I mean, you see it in No Man's Sky now, for example. So I don't know if it can have been patented. Can you patent a design like that inside the computer? Maybe it wasn't at the time. I don't know. It's a good question. Now, as I remember in Elite, if you did a few runs without bumping into the cops, then you drop down to offender. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Rather than fugitive. So at the moment we're running scared. Yeah, Plutonia, the TIE fighter that we were playing a few weeks ago, definitely had a front and rear radar, which wasn't as intuitive. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't as intuitive, for sure. Right, let's loaded that up. Trade. Right, where are we? We're in DSO, so we want to buy furs again. So we've decided furs are illegal. So what can we take? What about liqueur and wines? Let's take a legit cargo, shall we? Liqueur and wines at 20. We're buying them at 20 credits. Okay, let's see how that works for us when we go to Leasty. Is it worthwhile cargo? Oh, I should have saved it. Hey, well, never mind. Let's live dangerously. There was a game called Federation of Free Traders just before Elite 2 that used the same radar. Okay. Pretty sure this design of radar was first seen on Elite, but that might be wrong. Right, okay, now we've got... Oh, those weren't cops. Those were something else. That's I don't know what that is, but that's not a cop, so let's kill it. Well, did anybody see what rank I'd got to? I got to mostly harmless. Oh, it's really hard to keep up with these ships. Is that a moray? Not a moray. It's a mamba. Mamba number. It's mamba number 5. Sorry. Oh, whatever it was, it just died of death. No, it didn't. No, it's still there. Oh, they do dodge about a bit. There we go. Right, now we should also be able to pick up this cargo, shouldn't we? Textiles, woo, we scooped! Yay. That was good as well. Oh, we're still harmless, okay. I could try, we haven't done fuel scooping at the sun yet, we should try things like that, shouldn't we? And the ship at the back, that's there. A trader coming past over there. Okay, so Elite EXT was by Ben Dukes, author of the Termite IP TTLP set. Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, the moon is definitely going behind the planet there, which is quite nice to see. And it's increasing in size as it gets close to us, and then going smaller again as it... So that does... Yeah, so it is, it has simulated at least an angle. That's quite nice. There we go again, we made it. Now we haven't done anything illegal this time, so we're still fugitive at the moment. Something's happening. Somebody's shooting us. There's a police ship is shooting us despite the fact we're in system space and we've got our docking computers on. Oi! Jesus. He's trying very hard to murder us. Oh no! You missed us to death! I was just thinking, where's the ECM key? Ah dear. Okay, let's go. Tell you what, because this is now a pain. Okay, I've learnt my lesson. I've learnt my lesson. Right, where are we? We're at least deep. I've learnt my lesson, cop. Let's go. Let's go back to the desktop. Let's quit that. Let's go into Elite Edit. Let's take our fugitive status off and never go near furs again. Okay, we promise we've learnt our lesson. Because it's a pain. Right, kills 5. We've only been credited with 5 kills. Legal status. Oh, it's got a random number in it. Let's put that down to 0. I think that's how we do that. There we go. Cheating leads to more cheating, yeah. I know, but hey. Right, that should be that. Let's load scroll back up. This is why we have point defences needed, yeah. So yeah, chop me from a missile point barrier. It's obviously going to slow us down a lot if the police are trying to kill us all the time. Right, with a bit of luck, we're now clean again. We are okay. Trade. We've got right. So we've got a thing full of computers. Let's go back to DSO, and we'll take wine. I think wine and stuff. Buy some fur. No. Not going to do that. We know what happens. Is there any way in advance to know that furs are illegal? No, well, it might say in the manual. Let's look. That's a very good point. I'm just going to quickly segue to that because I'm curious to know. Does the manual tell us that things are illegal? Well, of course it's. Let's have a quick look in the manual. Right, hang on, you can't see this, so let me just pop it up. Here we go. So this oh, will it shrink down if I? Yeah, well, there we go. This is the Elite manual. Can I search for illegal? No action. Fur. No. Contraband. Maybe the thing's not searchable. Let's have a look. Whoa, whoa. Alternatives to trading. Advice to traders. Agricultural worlds. Yeah. Obviously narcotics are going to be illegal. Intergalactic trading. Here we go. Look, okay, there we go. Yes, it does. These items are defined as illegal by the galactic government, so trading them is risky. So slaves, narcotics, firearms. Furs are not listed as illegal. According to that. Yeah, this is all image. That's why I can't search it. Someone's just basically photocopied. So according to that, only slaves, narcotics, and firearms were illegal. So that will. Maybe I did something else. Anyway, we'll save the game when we get to the destination here. I did crash into it. Maybe I crashed into something. Yeah, maybe that was it. I murdered a python full of passengers. Oh, those guys are coming about. Missiles armed. That's a chance for us. Okay, what we got here? That looked like a sidewinder and something else. It's quite handy to be able to identify all the ships now. That's a copperhead. I don't know what a copperhead is. I've not come across one of those before. You don't need many hits on these ships to kill them, I've noticed. I mean, maybe we're not... Have I got an ECM? What's the ECM button? I don't think... No, that just took my shields off. What's the ECM button? I don't... Does anybody... I've got the ECM, but I don't know what the button is to fire it. I assumed it would be E, but it's not. That looks like a third lance. It is. Oh, that's the police. The police come to my aid. See, I need to be able to... Ow! I need to know what the ECM button is. Still got killed. What? I've got... Oh, I haven't got an ECM. I didn't buy an ECM. That'll be why it doesn't work. Let's buy an ECM. That's going to help. There we go. We now have an ECM. I thought I bought an ECM before. Oh, it's a Brell Baben ECM. I see what you did there. Right, let's try that again. We got some. Yeah, we got some stuff. Maybe it was because I crashed into something. At least the game doesn't say, yes, thank you for that tasty cargo. Right, we're here. Right, ECM. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it is the E key. I just, for some reason, thought I'd bought one and I hadn't. Yeah, the moon is going behind the planet. That's quite nice. That ship's coming in a bit fast. That looks highly suspicious. Although it's now running away again. Yep, it's run away. Maybe I'm so terrifying. Comes out a mass lock, but yeah, we'll try the fur in a minute. So maybe fur isn't illegal like we thought. Whoa. Oh, this just doesn't look good. It's now chucked something like 5 pirates at me. But we do now have an ECM, so that's something. A gecko with 10 or 8. 6. 4, 2. Yay, there we go. Ouch. I don't know what that pointy one is. It's a bit vicious. That looks like a crate. Yeah. Oh, I think I got hit. Hey, I've gone all spinny. What happened there? I think it knocked out my inertial thingamajiggies. amount of energy, and it does make a huge difference in getting your shields back up. Oh, there's a whole bunch more ships. Oh, that might be the police though. What's this? That's a caiman. Ooh. Different types of snakes, of course. Oh, here come the police to save my sail. Excellent. Well, I'll just spend all my time picking up some spare cargo then, if that's all right with you guys. Thank you very much for the help there, Mr. Police. So the police do turn up in safe systems after a certain amount of time. Oh, I've just picked up some furs. But I'm still clean. This is good. So that's a police ship. Still dealing with... Presumably still dealing with a bad guy, is that? So yeah, so you've given a certain amount of peril, I guess, before the police turn up. So it's sort of presumably balanced. Presumably, as the systems get safer, more police come more often, and as the systems get more dangerous, the police turn up less and less often, which is quite nice actually. So you can choose your level of risk, but there's always some element of risk. Plutonia. So what you're looking at on the screen there, the things. If you haven't played Elite before, what you've got basically there is front shield and aft shield on the top left. Then you've got fuel, cabin temperature, laser temperature, and altitude. On the right, you've got speed. Then you've got right, left, roll, dive, and climb indicators. And then you've got 4 energy banks. And basically, the way Elite works is that laser hits on your ship will deplete your front or rear shield depending on where you get hit, and then once the shields deplete, they will directly drain the 4 energy banks in sequence, and if you run out of energy in energy bank 4, you die. That's basically how it works. But your energy banks recharge at a certain rate, and then when they're fully recharged, they will replenish your shields. So now we're waiting for the docking computer to do its magic. There it is, look at that. Bye-bye. So now we've got yeah, we're still not invulnerable. We can still die. I mean, we need to get 6,000 credits before we can buy the military laser. That's well, might be ambitious today, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get the military laser, because that is the daddy weapon in Elite. There's a few other bells and whistles we want to get, but the military laser is the thing, basically, because I think, presumably, you score one, looking at this, it looks like you score 1 hit for a pulse laser, you get 2 hit points down for a beam laser, so I'm imagining it's 4 units down for a military laser. I don't know if that's true or not, we'll find out if we can get one. Doesn't sell everything in the hold. Where are we now? We are into, so we should be able to do furs then. Well, let's sell the one we had. There we go. Let's equip. Energy bomb, escape capsule, fuel scoop, beam lasers, large cargo. We've got most of that stuff, so that's all good. Let's save our progress, because we know what this game is like. And back to DSO. We launching 3, 4. What's that number there then? Do you think? It's interesting. I don't know what that was. We'll go back to Leasty with our furs. So I think we're okay. The furs are actually legal. Let's just double check. Yeah. Oh, an offender. I'm still not sure what's causing this. Do you think that's dodgy? Did we murder somebody who? Commander Bev, do you know NES port? I have got it. I have got the NES port on my Raspberry Pi. I haven't really played it, so I don't know much about it. Are we still offender? Yeah, see, that's a bit weird. Killing a non-pirate. Oh, okay. Fair enough. But he attacked me. Maybe it's illegal to buy furs. I know I've bought furs. I don't know. Salvaging was okay. I don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, pressing the wrong button. Oh, I'm still messed up. Oh, there's something coming ahead of me. I do like that, where you've got escorting ships and things like that. That's a nice addition to this game. It does make it feel like there's more life in the universe than the other Elites. And the other thing to notice about this, the frame rate on this Archimedes compared to even the PC and the Amiga and the ST is way better. Woo! Straight through like a mining operation there. Oh, that ship fired at me. Oh no, it didn't. No, they're mining. Yeah. So you can see in terms of 3D calculations. I mean, this is obviously long before the days of 3D accelerator cards and all that kind of cobblers. That doesn't look good. Are they going to attack or not? No, they're after somebody else. This RISC processor was a really impressive piece of kit. It's about, in terms of actual calculations in a given point in time, it's about 4 times as powerful as the Amiga and the ST chip at the same clock speed. So it was seriously optimized for this kind of game where it's basically all maths. So none of the Amiga's clever sprite management or anything like that could help the game work better. This was basically down to raw CPU power for the game of this type, and as a result the Archimedes is wiping the floor with those other computers, and it gave them freedom to do all this other stuff in the game, which just there wasn't really capability of doing that in the other Elites because it didn't have the spare capacity for it. So this is a bit of a showcase of the RISC processor, really, which is quite nice. And the other thing to note, I think, is the much bigger screen area. Look how much of the screen area is used for the screen compared to the Amiga and the ST versions. You've got a big chunky area that's being animated by the computer. And look, ships doing their own thing, and there's lots of cool stuff going on all the time. Traders flying around with their escorts and stuff. It's nice. It's nice. It's a very impressive version of Elite. It's insanely difficult to play, but it's good. I think it's quite good fun. Okay, we didn't really have a definitive match there, but let's keep making monies. Now we're approaching this station from behind, so that's okay. So Good Doc 16, yeah. Okay, so I'm interested in this. I used to double jump the hyperdrive to get into which space and wipe out the Thargoids. How do you do that? Because on the Spectrum version, I think you pressed pause, you pressed some key combination, and then you pressed hyperspace. So how do you do a misjump? Because most versions of Elite have got a misjumping. I don't like the way it's approaching the space station at the moment. I'm ready on the abort button here. No. No! Well, we have just definitively proved that the docking computer is crap. It just tried to fly through a space station. It didn't cancel either, which was annoying. It's like, so even when you've got everything working for you, this game still finds new ways of murdering you. Ah dear. It's just like Elite Dangerous. Yes, Elite 2 had bad autopilot. Even Elite Dangerous has a bad can't recall the keys, maybe Shift J. Okay, we'll have to try jumping to see if the Thargoids. That's because the planet was behind the space station. It didn't figure out how it had to avoid the space station to approach the station entrance, which is interesting. Oh, that doesn't look good. No, they're all swarming towards me. Oh, Jesus. That's an adder, I know that. Those are quite tough. Oh. Did I press a pause button? Or did the game just did the game just crash? It went beep and it stopped. It says it's running. The emulator says it's still running, so I think the game has just crashed. Oh, the irony. Which means the Archimedes is dead. This is a classic game experience. I have to hard reset the computer. Presumably that's a genuine thing that might have happened on an Archimedes. Boots quite fast. Got to give it that. Does boot quite fast. Right, let's stick a disc in. A correct emulator will crash in the same places. So yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Right, let's put our Elite extension on, because we can't do without that now. Can't not have our fluffy dice. There we go. Okay, that's loaded and running. Upload. Cheaters never prosper. So emulated the game crash. Very authentic. I was hoping that it would be quite easy to make some money now. But, as you can see, it ain't. Right, off we go again. Alright, what are you still... Oh, we're an offender still. So whatever we did to offend, we've... I find that I'm offended by that. I am. Long before offending things was cool, Elite was being offended. I'm probably going to run into the same bunch of pirates knowing my luck. I love the fact we've got a bumper sticker on the back of the ship. Come on. You realise how frustrating a game Elite was, actually. Spend so much of your time either mass locked or waiting to get into a space station. Right, this time we're going to fly past the space station. This is something that's slightly weird about this version of Elite. Notice that when I dive and climb, the planet dives and climbs at a different rate to all the other objects in the system. So they haven't quite scaled this correctly, look, because the planet, the space station is right in the centre of the planet. I should just be able to move up, and it doesn't. It's very slightly wrong. Now, interesting enough, in the Spectrum version, that is implemented correctly. So, I don't know about BBC and the Commodore. We'll have to check those out at some point. But there's definitely a flaw in the programming here. The planet rotates around the player faster than all the other objects. So I'm going to fly past the space station and point at it before I trigger the suicidal autodock. There's a lot going on the screen. They were showing off a bit, weren't they, with the planet rotating and the moon and the high frame rate, etc., etc. So, I mean, if you've got the processing power, why not flaunt it? But there we go. And you can't... Oh, yeah, you can switch the docking computers off. Okay. Now, what is it doing? It's being insane. It's flying around at full speed, which is extremely dangerous. Just go straight in. What is he doing? If it kills me again, I'm going to rage quit. What is it doing? That's what. I think you're in a Tesla, yeah. I think it needs an upgrade to its autopilot. Oh no, look, it's gone further out and now it's... Okay, now it's lining up. There is another ship out there. Don't ram that. See, this is the problem. It's a computer simulation inside a computer simulation inside a computer simulation. That's what we've got going on here, actually. If you think about it, because there's a docking computer which is being emulated by the Archimedes inside Elite, and then the Archimedes being emulated by my PC. So just asking, like, don't ram the ship. What are you doing? So we noticed that you destroyed another ship on your way in. Ah, yes, but my docking computer was switched on. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I wasn't in charge of my ship at the time. No, that's totally understandable. So we know what those docking computers are like. So we now know the docking computer is very fallible, and it also occasionally murders people. But on the plus side, furs aren't illegal. It's a docking computer. Well, I think it should be aware of collision avoidance, surely. I mean, come on. What kind of computer is it? Right, I'm hoping we can do 2 more runs and have enough money for a military laser. But that might be ambitious. But anyway, let's go. Well, we're going back to D-Zone now, aren't we? Reset the hyperdrive system. No. We have got a cargo full of... Oh, that's just not you. Fozzie says, to see the docking computer trying to kill you in Elite Dangerous isn't a bug. It's just it's just accurate legacy. Oh, 28 tons of computers. I think I should have bought... What I should have done, actually, is I should have bought some machinery and filled up the holes. I don't know why I'm not doing that. The docking computer is doing something mental again. Let's just go. I'm going to fill up the rest of the hole with machinery. Make sure we travel with a full hold. It's a tribute to the law. That's exactly what it is. Do we have cargo extenders? That's another thing that's coming. Well, it's interesting actually. If you play with the Cobra Mark III in Elite Dangerous, it does have a very, once you put out a sort of mix of capabilities, it does have a very similar sort of cargo capacity to a 35-ton ship. So that's quite interesting that they ended up with that. Presumably not by accident. But yeah, the idea in Elite was that you bolted an extra sort of cargo bay on the bottom of your spaceship. Oh, I'm a fugitive now because I murdered somebody again. I'm going to have to remove that because otherwise we're never going to go anywhere. It wasn't me, it was the docking computer. Dear. Tell you what, I think because this game keeps cheating, kind of. It's not really cheating, is it? I'm gonna edit the save and give myself a military laser because this this is just mean. Let's do that. There we go. I'm going to cheat again because I'm bad. Let's see what other cool stuff is available, because why not? Bad. Oh, there we go. Well, we're not going to do the missions at the moment. Let's leave that off. Right. Not too worried about that. What else we got? Okay, let's go for beam lasers. I want a military laser on the front, and I want to have a mining laser on the back because that's what I always used to do. What else can we have? I think, to be honest, most of the rest of this stuff, missile autolock, yaw boosters. What's a yaw booster? Never even heard of those. That's different. What's a yaw booster? Galactic hyperspace. I'm not really bothered about at the moment. Missile also like I don't think I'd want. Escape capsule I never used. So that's how the law. We've got most of the tech we need actually. We need to just this legal status business. Just gonna edit my criminal record. It boosts your. I suppose that makes sense that it would, but was that allowed to turn right and left? Elite's never done that before. Is that a thing? Right, now we've got some decent stuff. Let's go on a murder spree. Because it doesn't matter now if we're. Well, it does, but I'm possibly the only person in the history of Elite who's got a military laser and is still harmless. Can you put in the insane? I don't know. I didn't even try whether you could fill up with more stuff than you can actually physically carry. But I'm still harmless. Right, I've got front military laser ECM system according to that. But we have got yaw boosters. So how do we make them work? I wonder. I've got a tank full of gas, half a packet. Right, we're going to DSO. Right. Well, so we've got a different reticle now. That's nice. The escape capsule, particularly when you're about to die, potentially. Maybe we should try the energy bomb. Okay, I'm going to say the yaw booster is a reward for the second mission. Okay, so maybe I should have switched that off. Okay, might take that back off then for the next stream. I don't want to have stuff that's not mission specific. Okay, that's just a mine. Let's just take some asteroids out and see how good this military laser is. Asteroid dead. Yep. Okay, so the laser is now white. So you get different coloured lasers, which I suppose makes sense. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's get to there's just more miners. Ooh, I like the way you see them do the mine, that's really, really cool. Oh, hello, Jay Britton is raiding with a party of 6. Hello, Jay Britton, hello, good to see you, my friend. How are you? How are you? Say hello. Good to hear from you. How's things in the world of voice acting and stuff? And how's Amelia? How are you guys? How is everything? Tell us. For those of you who don't know, Jay voiced Senator Patrius in some of the logs and things for Elite Dangerous, and my one of my impromptu acting-y things. Very, very cool. Where we did some stuff with Salome and Patrius years and years ago now. So, and a renowned voice actor he is. Right, it's definitely chucking. Right, let's see how effective this military laser is. Oh, it gives me 3. Okay, so it's not that generous. Jesus, they still wipe me out really badly. How did they shoot me down so... Boom. So this game is still insanely difficult. That was a military laser and all the good stuff, and ba-boom. It still killed me. Nightmare. Right, okay. Let's go. I'm going to do this one more time. Let's switch off the yaw boosters because that's not right. We shouldn't have those. Oh dear. It's the dice. It's definitely the dice. That's what it is. I don't think I've come across a version of Elite that is so brutally difficult. The Amiga version wasn't, the ST version wasn't, the Spectrum version, BBC, even the BBC version wasn't this brutal. It really is madly, madly difficult. I mean, beyond hard. It really is. Just, yeah. This is a difficult version of the game. I've decided. Anyway, for those who popped along with the raid, hello, good to see you. Thank you very much for the raid. Very much appreciated. And Jay, say hello. Say hello to the people here. Quite a few people remember you from your Patriot escapades. So do say hello. It's good to have you on board. Right, I'm going to do one more successful mission, right? Because I'm stubborn. I'm going to out-stubborn this game. Right, and we're only going to Leasty, so how difficult can it be? Insanely difficult, as it turns out. I have selected the system, you stupid computer. Oh, we're going to DSO, that's why. Okay, we were going to DSO. Well, that still doesn't excuse it, does it? One more successful mission. We gotta try this for a bit. I know. My money is on the game, says Vitamucci. It's just so brutal. Okay, so is there anybody in the chat who actually genuinely played this version of the game back in the day? Okay, I haven't tried the energy bomb. No, we've got to leave some things for next week, I think. Is there anybody in the chat who actually genuinely played this back in the day and got somewhere? I need to know, because whilst I'm in great admiration for this game, some of the features it has, okay, it's so hard. The difficulty scaling is appalling. It's enough to really make you pick up your Archimedes and chuck it across the screen. First time chat from Crowley. This is, I started with Frontier. Yes, yeah. So yeah. Zyger45 says I played it very briefly and died a lot. I feel your pain. Goodoc60, not in this version, but Elite on the C64 version. Yeah, so the C64 version I think is not going to be too dissimilar to the BBC, is it? Because arguably possibly slightly easier, because the C64 had a slower chip. So Wintermute says the only old version I played in its entirety was the original Elite on the BBC. Yeah, so see, I'm a Spectrum veteran, but the Spectrum version wasn't very difficult either. Nothing like this. Maybe this is better if you use the mouse. Maybe it was optimized for mouse. I can't fly spaceships with mouses. I was still playing Star Raiders back then, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, so this is mice. Mouses, meese. One of those. Look, we've done a successful mission. Woo! As long as we don't die and crash it. No, we didn't. Okay. Right, trade. Let's sell some stuff. We've got most of our money back. There we go. You Spectrum owners were mollycoddled. We were a bit, actually. I think the Spectrum version. To be honest, the Spectrum version isn't too bad. One thing the Spectrum version did have going for it, though, it had 4 missions in it. So the Archimedes version has only got 4 missions in it. I think I'm right in saying that the C64 and the BBC versions only had 2 missions. So that gives the Spectrum a little bit of an edge there. And the Spectrum did have a few other nice little things, like it had a cloaking device, which was quite cool. There was a mission where you destroyed the space station, which was also pretty cool. There was traffic around the space station. It would launch ships out, which I don't know if the BBC version did or not. It didn't happen very often when I played it. But so yeah, it had a few bits and pieces going for it, the old Specky. It wasn't too bad at all. Right, so how are we doing? It's 10 past, I've got to stop. Right, so let's save this game. Right, with a bit of luck, we will now be able to proceed a little bit with the game and see if we can start heading towards the missions. Gnordevarg, yeah, no, I sort of discount the pirate mission because that's the 5th mission, which isn't really a mission, is it? It's basically in the Spectrum version. I don't know if some of you have seen this on some of my YouTube playthroughs. The Spectrum version, every so often the space station gets taken over by pirates, and if you dock at the space station when it's been taken over by pirates, it says the space station's been taken over by pirates. They board your ship and you're dead. There's nothing you can do about it, okay? It's just basically you die. Which isn't great gameplay, considering there's no way to tell in advance whether the space station is infested by pirates or not. So it's not a good gameplay choice. But no, that's not really a mission. So the 4 missions I think on the Spectrum version are the first one is the supernova. You're quite right, Commander Archangel. If you get close enough to see the space station, it's not spinning. For some reason, the pirates basically stop the space station spinning. So you can tell if you go visually inspect it. So there's that one. There's the asp, where you shoot down the asp and you get the cloaking device. And then there's the Thargoid one. It's not great gameplay. If they will add it next week. There's another mission I can't remember. Maybe it's only the 3 missions and the pirates. I can't remember, but yeah. No, it's not a constrictor on the Spectrum Wintermute. It's constrictor doesn't appear in the Spectrum version. It was an asp. So yeah, it should have been a constrictor really, but it's not, presumably for coding limitations or something. So yeah, you have to chase a not quite invisible asp across space to get the cloaking device. It's not the same as the constrictor mission on the BBC. Anyway, my friends, it is time for us to end this wonderful retro stream and go back to the heady days of 2025 instead. We need to put behind our low resolution displays, our impossible gameplay, our 16/32-bit environments, and go back to stuff. So we will be back with a bit more Elite Dangerous on Wednesday, and we'll be back with a bit more retro Acorn Archimedes. But we're going to try and trigger some of these missions. I feel we've understood the gameplay so far reasonably well. It's now time to see if we can trigger some missions. So anyway, there should be a stream on Wednesday. Don't think there's anything unusual going on. Actually, thinking about it, no, I will be on holiday next week. So actually, there won't be streams next week. Apologies for that. So yeah, it'll be this week. And then we'll resume after that, because I've got family coming up, and I've got to celebrate my birthday. I'm going to be even a year older. So when I come back, I'll be even more decrepit than you see me now. So yes, the week commencing, whatever that is, that's going to be the 20-something, 24th. I think will be this next stream after this Wednesday. So apologies for that. Yes, 30 years old indeed. Yeah. Not the birthday. Well, I have mine, Top Shot, once a year. I don't know about you. So yeah, so week commencing 18th, there won't be any streams. Apologies. After that, it'll be back to normal again. So anyway, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. I do appreciate it. I shall see you on. Anyway, my friends, be good. Take care and stay safe out there in the modern world. And we'll resume our travels in Elite Dangerous on Wednesday, and then we'll be back for more retro stuff the week after next. Take it easy, be good, live long and prosper. See you soon, my friends. Thank you very much for the well wishes. I appreciate it.